Welcome to another edition of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We are documenting the journey of entrepreneurs, one digital footprint at a time. With me, I have the distinct pleasure of having an East Coaster from Ohio,
That's
Buckeye
right.
State.
That's right.
Derick Vogel, man.
Thank you for having me today.
Hey, man, thank you, brother. You are with Credit Absolute. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, my main priority is credit education, and I work with a majority of clients that are credit challenged, trying to purchase a home or refinance homes, or just getting any particular financing for that matter.
Credit challenge, you mean like their credit suck?
Well, that's a direct way of putting it. Sure.
All right, because mine does. And sometimes is because you don't know that something was put into your credit, right? And with all this thievery going on and hacking and everything else, somebody could be using your credit. You don't know it.
All the time.
And then your company comes in and says, well, let me kind of repair that. Let me fix that.
I think Arizona is the fourth largest state for identity theft.
Wow.
So I think that's important to know. But yeah, there's a lot of people that have no idea what their credit scores are, what's reporting on their credit, what's reporting on their personal profile. And it's like, if you want to lose weight or gain weight, you gotta get on the scale first, right?
That's right. Okay, but here's the thing, though, Derick. This show is about your journey.
Sure.
And we'll go back to the credit repair or credit counseling, if you will. How would you define it?
I like to say counseling.
Counseling.
Personally,
All right.
Scottsdale nominated us Best Credit Counseling Company in Scottsdale for 2015, and
Awesome.
Repair is kind of the companies that did it the wrong way.
Got it.
So,
which is the reason that you're here, brother. So you're doing it right, man. You're
All
doing it
right,
right, my
thank you.
brother. All right. So here's the thing. So how does one get into the credit counseling business? Because look, I mean, there's so many professions. And tell us a little bit more about your background and how
Sure.
you became an entrepreneur. Because people watching this program, they're like, yeah, you know what? I could be like that. I could take that path. And they're going to click. They're going to see this video, and they're going to go, I can be like Derick. So what's your path?
Well, for me, it had just to be, I've always been self-employed in the sense, and then I got back into the corporate world. I mean, I was door-to-door salesman selling Kirby's back in Ohio. And so I was, just taught raw, really, just the sales foundation. But then 11 years ago, I moved out here and got back into mortgage. I was a mortgage banker for almost 12 years. And when the market crashed in 2007-8, I ended up moving to Costa Rica and helped a friend start a mortgage company, Costa Rica Lending. We did investments out there, buying and selling condos. And then my passion was really just go out there to do a boating business and take people out to go snorkeling and fishing and wakeboarding, and which is a passion of mine.
All right. So how does that work out, right? You wake up one day and your buddy calls up, hey, dude, let's go to Costa Rica. Is that just how it happened, or it was a planned thing?
No, he was just like, hey, we have an opportunity. Do you want to come? And I said, absolutely. Let's
just
do it.
Like that.
Yeah, and then so before I had went, it was a little nerve-wracking, but was there for a few months, and then ended up moving back home because I had met my wife, and so we moved back home and started working for Quicken Loans.
Right.
And doing mortgages there. And then, this Quicken Loans was great. Taught me great education, just on the knowledge of doing loans. And they had a credit department there that I was transferred over to kind of manage. And I had bad credit at the time. And I tried other companies out there, like the repair type, charge you a bunch of money up front, which you find out it's illegal to do that. And then there's other companies that would charge you monthly fees, and it was just kind of like, nothing against Planet Fitness, but if you want to pay $10 to go have a cupcake and pizza, that's the workout place for you, right?
You said it best, brother. You said it best, brother.
But there was no plan of action, and so I had gotten let go from Quicken Loans. Just timing, for me wasn't right there, and so I did research and wrote a business plan for over a year, and did a lot of research and looked at a lot of different software companies.
A lot of research into the credit counseling business.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay.
It was really important that I wanted to separate myself from the typical company out there.
So you're analyzing the market, and this is a great lesson for an entrepreneur, right? So you did invest the time because you wanted to have knowledge.
Oh, absolutely.
as far as the business or the interest that you were going to get into.
Mm-hmm.
And with that knowledge, then you're saying, all right, I think I can do this better than all these fools right out here.
Well, yeah, because I had partnered with a buddy of mine who started a credit repair business. He had teamed up. He was more of like a marketing piece for them. And I wasn't really happy with the type of results. I mean, they got results, but they didn't provide education. And that's where I'm different, as I teach my clients how to trigger the scoring algorithms in a credit score. And it's specific things that have to be done. And so, anybody can come to a company and help get items deleted if they have any, brains at all. I mean, people duplicate that all the time. But to help people boost their credit scores and provide them what the proper mixes of credit are and teach them the difference between a due date and a statement date and the cycle of how everything works is critical. It's extremely critical, and so clients get a true education with me, and a byproduct of what I do is helping them get items deleted from their credit report.
Sweet. So being in the mortgage business, being in the credit business gives you the background from a different perspective to realize, hey, this is very important for everybody to have good credit, etc. But you, at that time, you didn't really know the specifics, or actually removing the curtain, which is now what you have done by educating yourself, and now you can tell people this is what you need to do.
Right, and that's truly how I had the passion. To go back to the original question, how did I get into it, and what drove me was that I had my own personal bad credit. It was horrible, and I just recently married, have a son, and wanted to be able to purchase a home, and I couldn't. And so I had these other companies trying to fix my credit, and nothing was happening.
And you're paying them whatever upfront fees, the monthly fee, and nothing's happening.
Just don't worry, just trust us. And I'm like, well, no, I'm going to worry because you're not doing anything. And so that's when I did the research, and then I fixed my own credit. Oh. And then once I fixed my own credit, and it took like 5 years, it was horrible. But I fell down multiple times, and I found out what didn't work. And then I also found out what works exactly, and that's how I've been able to take, fixing credit from a year down into 90 days, 6 months.
Okay.
I mean, I've crunched the time, and so I give people a true coaching plan. If they follow it, then it works.
It took you a long time because you were kind of trial and error in your own self. You're your own client.
Yep.
And you're experimenting, okay, this works, this doesn't work, and that's why it took you so long. But then now you figured out what the secret sauce is, and now you brought it down to 6 months, 90 days.
Well, in a sense.
Generally speaking.
Generally speaking, I can, increase scores 40 points to 100 points in 30 to 90 days if the client's able to follow specific tasks. Some take longer. It has a lot to do with budgeting.
Right.
Has a lot of being aware of what the personal finances are and being able to apply that. So
I think what sets you apart, and this is what's really cool about it, and that's why you got the 2015 Best Credit Counseling from the Scottsdale Chamber. I think it is because you provide that education that is not just going to improve your credit, but okay, so what happens after that, right?
Yeah.
What happens after that? And then after I got my credit up to 690, 700, so what happens then? And I think that's where you come in and say, all right, to preserve this is what you need to do, right?
Yeah, and I've added a lot of dynamics to the business too. So just instead of being a credit counseling or education, I've tried to add in, where we help clients with debt settlement, or we help them, and I don't do it personally, I outsource it to trusted advisors. And if they need bankruptcy, we try to veer away from that all possible.
Have you ever seen a credit report where you're like, dude, I'm sorry, can't help you. Just.
Well, yes, there's been a few people that I had to turn away just because they can't afford my services.
Right.
And that's okay, and I don't want to, I'm not, I have probably a very low percentage that will, I'll do the work for them and they don't pay me. I mean, you have that in any business.
Right.
I think, you're going to have people that, take advantage. But as long as the majority people that I can show that I'm passionate about and give them kind of my, I love helping people.
Well, this is what's...
And giving them a second chance is, we all deserve it.
What's cool about what you've done is that you have discovered in a segment in the industry where there's really no credit counseling university that you go to get a diploma and say, all right, I'm a certified credit counseling or credit repair specialist or whatnot.
Well, you can go to certain places to get certified credit. I mean, all of my employees are certified credit coaches. They take a little test.
But as far as finding out what works, there
no,
isn't such a thing.
It's trial and error.
It's a trial and error. But
It truly is.
And you tried it in yourself, and I think that's my point. That there might be some certifications, but for yourself, you had to try it on your own to figure out and to find out what is it that worked or what didn't work. And that's what's cool about it.
Absolutely, and it also helps too because there's those companies out there that haven't. Maybe they've always just had good credit, but they don't know how to repair it back, and they're just going off of hypotheticals.
How many of these things do you do a year?
I average 300 plus. I have over 1,000 plus clients, 1,000 affiliates that I work with.
What's next?
What's next? I've added a new piece to the business called Life Leadership. It has to do with financial fitness, and it's a game changer. It's changed my whole life. It's taught me the value of being a better leader, a better father, a better boss, mentor, and showing people like, look, now that I've given you the power to fix your credit, learn how to be financially fit.
Sweet.
Don't go back into what this headache and stress has caused you. I mean, it's sad that when you look at statistics that 41% of Americans have less than $500 savings in their account.
Jeez.
So I'd like to be able to change that and get people away from believing that, it's okay to have debt because you can afford it. I think that the society today has brainwashed us. And it's like, if you can afford a house, if you can afford a car, go ahead, sign your name.
Just go ahead.
Go into debt. Great. I can afford it.
Sign and drive.
So right, exactly. So, just trying to change people's methodology of thinking a little bit and let them know, like, look, there's different ways to do it.
Best advice you got?
Be aware, get on the scale and check your credit.
Right on. And with that, man, I mean, this is really cool. I think that we would all benefit if you do some type of workshop or seminar here at the Office Pile, counseling people about what to be aware of, how to manage the credit, how to be financially fit.
Absolutely,
So
and it ties together with business credit too, which is hand in hand. So I help businesses help build their business credit, which ties in with their personal. So.
We're definitely going to be looking for you to come into the Office Pile and give one of those seminars or one of those workshops, my brother.
Sounds great.
This is fun, man. I appreciate it. It's something that it's so important in our society. If we don't have the credit, then you have to go into the dark black market to figure it out. And if you have good credit, sign and drive.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, man. With that, we're out.
Welcome to the remix. Prestige.